Cooper Flagg is really, at this point, a consensus #1 overall pick.
He is widely considered the #1 prospect in either class.
Cooper is one of the highest-ranked recruits in the class of 2025, receiving offers from Duke, UConn, Michigan, all the best.
Where top prospect Cooper Flagg announced he's going to reclassify to the class of 2024 for high schools from the 2025 class. Now,
five-star recruit Cooper Flagg has committed to Duke on a Monday morning for us. He's the #1 recruit in the class of 2024.
Cooper Flagg has gone from being the nation's top high school prospect to becoming a genuine phenomenon at the collegiate level. He's already established himself as a near-consensus, future #1 overall NBA draft pick. And at this point, the excitement around him has only intensified since he set foot on Duke's campus. Many felt Cooper was the #1 recruit coming out of high school, and now, as a freshman at Duke, he's turning that promise into reality at the college level. When he reclassified from the class of 2025 to 2024, the buzz was deafening. Now, with him already impacting the game on one of the biggest stages in college basketball, there's a growing chorus of fans and even some respected scouts who believe he might be a more dominant college player than superstars like Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum were at this stage of their careers. It's high praise, but Cooper's game speaks for itself. Let's take a step back and remember how this all came together. As a high schooler, Cooper Flagg was the highest-ranked recruit in the class of 2025, garnering offers from blue blood programs like Duke, UConn, and Michigan, among many others. Yet when he made his decision to reclassify to 2024, he didn't just maintain his top spot, he strengthened his position as the premier talent in his class. Ultimately, Cooper committed to Duke, the program known for churning out NBA-ready stars. The signing was met with near euphoria in Durham. They all knew they'd landed a potential franchise cornerstone in waiting. Now, as a full-fledged member of the Duke Blue Devils, Cooper's presence has fans, scouts, and even some NBA general managers on high alert, eagerly tracking every game he plays as if he's on a short runway to the pros. He's not even halfway through his first collegiate season, yet Cooper is already posting remarkable performances against top-tier Division I competition. He's shown the complete package, scoring at all three levels, making high IQ passes, protecting the rim, and switching onto multiple positions defensively. His stat line at Duke, a balanced mixture of points, rebounds, assists, and blocks, reads like a seasoned veteran's, not a freshman's. Fans on message boards and social media are going as far as to say that his dominance at this stage might eclipse what Kevin Durant showcased at Texas or what Jason Tatum displayed in his lone year at Duke. Is it hyperbole? Maybe. But the fact that the conversation even exists speaks volumes about Cooper's game and the sheer level of skill he's brought to the ACC. To understand how Cooper got here, we need to trace the roots of his meteoric rise. He was born in Newport, Maine, and from day one, basketball flowed through his veins. His parents played college ball, so the environment was ripe for him to develop a deep understanding of the game. He and his twin brother Ace hit the hardwood early, honing skills that would eventually put Cooper on the national radar. In high school, long before he was dropping double-doubles and making highlight reel plays at Duke, Cooper was racking up historic accolades. As a freshman at Nokomis Regional High School in Maine, he averaged 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, over 6 assists, nearly 4 steals, and almost 4 blocks per game. Those numbers were unheard of for a freshman, and he made history by becoming the first freshman ever named Maine Gatorade Player of the Year. But let's be honest, Maine's basketball scene isn't exactly a national hotbed. To truly test his limits and improve his craft, Cooper needed a bigger stage. After his freshman season, he left Maine for Montverde Academy in Florida, a powerhouse known for producing elite college and NBA talent. At Montverde, Cooper held his own against future pros, posting solid numbers as a sophomore and showcasing flashes of brilliance that left scouts salivating. He took MVP honors at the 2023 Hoopa Classic, reinforcing the notion that he wasn't just a product of a small basketball market. He was the real deal. His performance at Montverde, followed by a sensational stint back on the EYBL circuit, elevated Cooper to a whole new level of national recognition. As a 16-year-old, he dominated the 16U competition, averaging nearly 27 points, 12 rebounds, and close to 5 assists and 5 blocks per game. Those are video game numbers, and at the prestigious Nike Peach Jam, he posted 3 straight triple-doubles, averaging 34.7 points, 16 rebounds, and 10.7 blocks over that span. To put it bluntly, he wasn't just good, he was looking like a once-in-a-generation prospect. All of this laid the groundwork for an epic senior year at Montverde after he reclassified. Despite moving up a class and facing older competition, Cooper retained his status as the top recruit in 2024. He thrived on a team stacked with elite talent, guiding Montverde to an undefeated record and cementing himself as a no-brainer pick for the McDonald's All-American game. By the time he finished high school, he was a household name among basketball enthusiasts, who saw him as more than just a top recruit. He was the kind of player who could transform a program overnight. Now at Duke, Cooper is thriving under the intense spotlight of Cameron Indoor Stadium. Surrounded by fellow 5-star recruits and a storied program's expectations, he's showing that he can still be the alpha dog on a loaded roster. Early in his college career, he's logging consistent scoring outputs, controlling the glass, dishing out assists in transition, and turning away shots with jaw-dropping blocks that bring the Duke faithful to their feet. NBA scouts sitting courtside can't help but draw comparisons to great forwards who once passed through these halls: Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Paolo Banchero, and yes, even Jason Tatum. Yet some bold voices in the crowd are whispering that Cooper might be the best of them all, better even than the current NBA stars who once donned the Duke jersey. Part of what makes Cooper so special is that his game goes beyond scoring. He's a playmaker, a facilitator, and a defensive anchor. He's got the size, the instincts, and the footwork that make him a nightmare on both ends of the floor. Remember how in high school he flirted with quadruple doubles? Those instincts haven't gone away. They've only sharpened. His timing on defense, his spatial awareness, and his willingness to do the dirty work. These attributes make him stand out in the college game, where top prospects often rely on sheer athleticism rather than nuance and skill. Now, with Cooper proving his worth against some of the toughest competition in the nation, the NBA chatter is louder than ever. He's eligible for the 2025 NBA Draft, and some analysts believe he's a lock to go number 1 overall. They see a player who could anchor a franchise from day one. The tools are there: a smooth jumper that's improving steadily, polished ball handling, a knack for reading defenses, and an unparalleled motor. He's shown he can finish through contact, maneuver in the post, step out for a 3, and orchestrate an offense as a pseudo-point forward. The conversations about him possibly surpassing Durant or Tatum as a college player might be fueled by fandom, but the comparisons exist for a reason. Cooper is checking boxes that few have checked at his age. Duke's track record for producing NBA forwards is impeccable. Zion, Tatum, Ingram, and Banchero all went on to immediate success in the league. Cooper's name is already being mentioned among that elite fraternity, and some argue he might have the most well-rounded skill set of all of them at this stage. His transition to the college game has been seamless, and his defensive versatility has scouts salivating. Modern basketball values players who can guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and still space the floor. Cooper seems like he was built in a lab for the modern NBA, capable of switching onto smaller guards, defending the paint, and sparking fast breaks with a pinpoint outlet pass. The reclassification decision that once seemed bold now looks like a stroke of genius. By accelerating his timeline, Cooper positioned himself to be on the fast track to the NBA. He's showing that the hype wasn't just smoke and mirrors, it's grounded in hard evidence, month after month, game after game. Sure, we've all been burned before by high school phenoms who never lived up to the promise. But Cooper feels different. He's refined, composed, and his production keeps matching the intensity of the hype. Another layer to the story is the ongoing debate for the top recruit in his original class. Players like Ace Bailey have been putting up outrageous numbers, but critics point out that Cooper's combination of offense and defense at an elite program like Duke sets him apart. His polish and poise are rare, especially given the level of competition he's facing. It's one thing to drop 40 points in a lesser-known setting, it's another to excel under the unforgiving lights of Cameron Indoor against future NBA players, with the entire basketball world watching. Yes, the skepticism remains. There's always a risk when we project greatness so early. We've learned from prospects who fizzled out. The difference here is Cooper's pedigree, his attitude, and the way he's handling pressure. He's the kind of player who invites comparisons to all-time greats and then steadily justifies them with his day-to-day performances. As he navigates conference play and gears up for the NCAA tournament, he's only adding to his legacy. So, is it too soon to call him the next great Duke forward? Or perhaps the next in line for that #1 pick who can truly anchor an NBA team? Some might say it's too early. Others believe we're merely stating the inevitable. The fact that fans dare to compare him favorably to Kevin Durant or Jason Tatum at the college level, even if it's a stretch, proves just how special Cooper is. He's already shifting the conversation about what a freshman phenom looks like in today's game. In the end, time will tell. But if what we've seen so far at Duke is any indication, the Cooper Flagg hype train is just picking up steam. We might be witnessing something truly rare, a player poised to redefine expectations at every level he touches. As he continues to write his story, one thing is certain: Cooper Flagg is well on his way to becoming a name you'll be hearing in the NBA for years to come. The only question left is how high his ceiling really is. And at this rate, it looks like the sky's the limit.